Hello viewers, I'm SB, and this is Kentucky Route Zero. This is going to be a narrative experience, sort of a slower paced, almost adventure game-like kind of thing, I believe. I'm not 100% sure what all goes on in it because I've been avoiding spoilers for 7 years. If you're not familiar with the story of Kentucky Route Zero, the first chapter came out on Steam in January of 2013. I bought it, according to Steam's logs, in February of 2013. Having heard good things about the first chapter and figuring, yeah, you know what, I'll wait until it's done, and then I'll play it. I'll play it when it all comes out sometime soon. Fast forward to now, 7 years later. It's out today. The final chapter, Chapter 5, has released, and we're going to get there, but we have a long road ahead of us first. It's actually not that long. There was a time, not that long ago, when I would not have tried to play something like this on the channel, but thank you very much to all of you out there in the audience who have showed me that you are down for some slow, weird narrative experiences. This one is going to be for you. So if the menu could stop rotating for a second here, I think we want to play Act 1. Well, that seems like a good place to start. Alright, I think it's just stylistic, but there is something real creepy about the movement of that dog. Right? Like, if we walk around here a little bit, I can get it to follow me, and it's, right? There's something, I don't know, eldritch about the legs, or... I'm sure it's just me. I'm easily creeped out by shadowy things. So yeah, this is the game. We can click to move around. For some reason, when you click, the cursor indicating where you've moved to is some otherworldly being playing horseshoes, which is a weird stylistic choice. And then we have our basic adventure game verbs. Examine the dog. An old hound and a straw hat. Both have seen better days. Or we could examine the truck. What's with our truck? A moving truck rumbles softly to itself. Painted on its side are the words Lissette's Antiques. Furniture, glassware, curiosities. Who wouldn't want to drive around this great nation in a truck full of curiosities? I mean, I guess there's really no other way to do it. And so, congratulations. With that, you're caught up. This is about all I've played. We go back on the road at all? We can look at the highway sign. An interstate highway, 65, running from Alabama up to just shy of Chicago. It ought to be quitting time in this part of Kentucky, but the daylight just won't shake. The sun just won't go away. Yeah, sometimes, especially if you've been driving for a long time, it can get to feeling that way. Especially, I find, if you're driving west, you have to look directly at the sun the whole time. It does seem like it never wants to set. Okay, we have another thing. I'm going to assume this is have dialogue with and not, like, inspect his business card. What's up with this attendant? Joseph sits between gas pumps in a Queen Anne armchair. His hair is gray and his glasses darkened. And maybe, is he wearing a name tag? How do I know his name is Joseph? Damn, did you hear that wreck? Truck full of bottles. I don't know, beer bottles? Whiskey? Lost a tire or something. Spilled booze and glass all over the interstate. What a mess. I hope they don't come down here looking for anything. We blew a damn fuse and it's all shut off. Wait, did I hear a dog? What's your dog's name? I hear a dog. Is he blind? He might be blind. He has... Yeah, it's hard to tell with this fidelity, but I think that's the implication. Her name is Blue. You know what? Blue's a real good name. I can't tell, again, the resolution, but this looks like a real floppy-faced kind of bloodhoundy dog, and Blue is a real good name for such a dog. Oh, Blue sounds like a sweet old hound. I used to know a dog like that. Hey, here's some jerky for Blue. I made it myself. Didn't turn out too well, but yeah, a dog will eat it. Getting late, right? I can feel the sun on my neck. I bet it's just a few feet off the horizon. Okay, so every time it turns yellow, it's me making a dialogue choice. I've got a delivery to make. You know, I'm not much for watching sunsets. I've been driving all evening looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Probably I just want to get home, right? Hey, I understand. You gotta do the job you're paid to do. Maybe get some rest somewhere in there, maybe have a drink, then back at it. There's dignity in that rhythm. Okay, that's not really an answer to my question. Where is Dogwood Drive, then? Listen, you and Blue would have been driving up and down 65 all night. Dogwood Drive is on the other side of... Well, to get there, you gotta take the Zero. The Zero's a tough route to find, but you can use my computer to look up directions. You'll have to head down into the basement and reset the circuit breaker first. I'll be happy to have those whining lights back up anyway. It's too damn quiet out here. Basement door's back there in the office. Appreciate your help, friend. Oh, and here. Take this lamp. It gets dark. I've heard. Okay, we've got a lamp, and a lamp button. Oh, hold on. This is a good opportunity to actually see the dog's straw hat. Do you actually have a hat on? It's real hard to tell. Hold on. Can we get the dog to come, like, forward? I gotta say, it's very forward-thinking of them to have zero indexed their highway system. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see it. Alright, I guess let's head inside. I mean, it looks like there must be some lights on in there somewhere. Maybe he's got another lantern? Hold on, we're not allowed to re-examine things generally, but we can talk to him again. I wonder if there's more information to be had here. Alright, breaker box will be somewhere on the right side of the room. Well, why can't you fix the lights yourself? Well, it's true. I know that basement pretty well. Last time I got to repair work down there, I crossed the wrong wire and took out half the traffic lights in Elizabethtown. That damn electric company. Consolidated. They plug everything together on one big grid. Too many eggs in the damn basket. So, now I'm a little circuit shy, is all. Anyhow, I appreciate your help. Alright. I'll go do the thing. How do you even... Where's the door? Wait, for real, how do you get in here? Oh, there's the door right there. Never mind. Problem solved. I got it, Joseph. Okay, it looks like there's nothing to interact with out here. Oh, hey, there's like a bunch of people in here. Basement people. Yep, that seems like a fair description. You know, you gotta say, like, immediately, the game has a certain style to it, huh? Emily, Ben, and Bob sit in folding chairs behind a worn card table. Papers, oddly shaped dice, and highway maps cover the tabletop. I mean, it was so dark down here, they can't have been playing anything. Hey, everybody. Conway clears his throat. I mean, we got a job to do, right? Y'all seen a breaker box down here? Hey, did you hear something? No. Sorry, I was looking at the rules again. It gets easier as you go. Look, you said you rolled a 5, right? That means you get to pick up your marker and move it anywhere on the map. So it's your turn now, right? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Hey, where'd you put that 20-sided die? Oh, I don't see it. Did you drop it? It should be easy enough to find. It glows in the dark. So they don't seem to be cognizant of my presence at all? Yeah, no response. I just need to get by you from... you know what? Okay. Maybe if I try to help them, they'll stop ignoring me? I think it rolled down off to the left there, but I don't see it. Well, I'm not going to go looking for it. It's too dark down there. Why don't you go down and get it? I'll just study the rules here. Okay, down off and to the left. I mean, couldn't be any clearer what the game is asking of me if they just hit me directly over the head with it. Boy, this is getting deep real quick, though. A dusty, rusty sign is bolted onto the wall. These are the rules. No open flames near the gasoline. Okay, makes sense. No consumption of beer or spirits on the premises. In case of sudden darkness, do not panic. Relax. Count backward from 5. Strictly limit the time spent in the basement to fewer than 3 minutes of every hour. Huh. That's disconcerting. Well, I mean, there's not really anywhere else for us to go, right? Yeah, we certainly didn't find a die. Hold on, let me... No, I can't even go this way. But it seems like... It doesn't seem like I can actually move any further than the sign. And I assume it's not going to say anything different the second time we look at it, because, you know, that's not really how signs work. Well, we're 10 minutes in and I've managed to get us stuck already. You know, these things happen. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn off the lantern, and everybody's not gonna panic, right? There it is. Conway picks up the glowing 20-sided die and inspects it. The number 5 is facing up. It's just a small piece of plastic, but it has a reassuring, almost comforting weight. You know, I own a lot of dice. I don't think I have any that glow in the dark. Places the object in his jacket pocket, and then he turns his lantern back on. And hey, look at that. No jump scares or anything. Huh. Folding chairs are arranged around a worn card table. The chairs are empty, and the surface of the table is bare. Well... What do you think? If this place is haunted, the rules of hauntings suggest that I put the die back, because it's not mine. The ghosts clearly want their die. If this is not a haunting, I have no idea what the appropriate etiquette is, and it is cool to have a glowing 20-sided die. Nah, you know what? This is not mine. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here. Maybe they'll be back for it. Not so much as the animation, huh? Okay. Boy, there's a real, like, almost intestinal suggestion to this area. I think we should get back upstairs. This place is creeping me out. I wonder if something weird does happen if you stay down here for longer than 3 minutes. I wonder if we were down there for longer than 3 minutes. I wonder if I've made a grave error. There it is. Just listen to those lights whine. Yep. Well, I'd better get those directions. Now, you know what? As much as I am focused on my job and everything, this is a real weird thing I ought to ask about. Hey, you know, there were some people down in your basement playing some kind of game, but they're, just gone now? In the basement? No, I don't think so. Maybe that lamplight's playing tricks on you, huh? Well, strange things happen underground. Especially in the dark. What an incredibly ominous thing to say. So, computer's in the office. You're looking for Marquez. She knows her way around those roads. She'll get you to the 0. The password is, damn, I usually just feel it out. Muscle memory, you know? It's kinda long, kinda like a short poem, I think. One of those short poems that really sums it all up. Yeah, you'll figure it out. Yeah, sure. That sounds, very cryptographically simple. Thank you. Like a short poem. I mean, is there any indication around here of anything he's read, or... We didn't see anything in the basement, right? I guess let's just fiddle with it a bit? Conway taps the key, waking the computer from its reverie. User. Well... Why would I type my own name? No, hi, I'm Joseph. Password. Short poem that really sums it all up, huh? Boy, these all seem like real loose guesses to me. This one's very ominous. I'm gonna choose to believe that that's not what summing it all up looks like. I talk and listen to him talking. Boy. You really have... the game gives you a lot of room to make this very ominous. It's a very ominous password. We're going to try to stay away from ominous for the moment. It's late. and it will only get later. Yeah, of course, obviously that was the password. Who wouldn't have been able to guess that? Hey, how's it going in there? You figured it all out? Yeah, sure you are. Yeah, he seems real interested. I mean, we can't help but snoop, right? A little bit? Let's just check his messages. From Donald at hotmech.mail. Message 2 is from accounts at consolidated.mail. Well, I mean... Hold on, is our dude blind? If we start reading this message, is it going to do like a text-to-speech thing and let him know that I'm reading his messages? Well, too late now. We've come too far to go back. From Donald. Subject, Fragments dim of lovely forms. Joseph, I know it's been a while, and I know you're still sore. But there's a whole world in here, and we need your help to unmask it. Yes, the caves are cold and damp, and we are old and lame. Oh, never mind. I can't even remember why I started writing this. I miss those days in the lab, with you and our dear Lula. Maybe you found your own Xanadu. Well, so have I. End of message. Okay. I feel a little bad for snooping. It definitely feels like we've seen something here that was not meant for us, and yet we still press on. From accounts at consolidated.mail. Account standing urgent. Dear Equus Oils, this is an urgent automated message that your account is overdue by more than 14 days. In response, we've switched you to our low reliability Dirty Power Plus plan. Consider making a payment immediately to obviate the need for us to switch you to Sustained Brownout Select. Sincerely, your friends at the Consolidated Power Co. You know they're really paying those marketing people too much. Alright, that's probably enough of this particular kind of snooping, on account of we don't have any more of it that we can do. How about address book? We're looking for Marquez, right? But also, maybe he has... oh, shoot, I can't remember what that game is called. It used to be installed on, like, Windows 95 machines. Maybe even Windows 3.1. It was like you played a mouse, there were all these cats, and you push blocks around to try to trap the cats and get to the cheese. Love that game. Games is not real. Well, it's another one of those short poems that really sums everything up, huh? Yeah, let's check the address book. We are looking for the 0, but not directly. I mean, I am kind of curious what it would say about Dogwood Drive. Address Dogwood Drive is not real. Okay. I think this computer's a little bit confused. You know, it was asleep, it's just woken up, it's probably groggy. Is the 0 not real? The 0 is not real, I mean. Almost went without saying, I suppose. Marquez residence, 100 Macondo Lane, head northeast on 65 and turn left as soon as you see that ugly tree that's always on fire. Okay, look for the barn at the base of the mountain there. Can't miss it. Hey, you got it? Out there in Macondo somewhere, right? Yeah, that's it. Hey, look, while you were down there, I loaded that old TV of mine into your truck. I borrowed that thing from Weaver Marquez a number of years ago, and now that the power's all weird over here, I can't pick up anything but static and public access anyway. And she was always more of a reader, but maybe she'd want it back at home. It's a nice TV. Okay, well... Is my truck just unlocked? I guess I left it running. Feels like I should lock my truck. Oh wait, I can talk to my dog. Sun's gone down. You and Blue better get on that road if you're going to make your delivery. Yeah, I reckon so. Conway scratches behind Blue's right ear. You know... I ask my dog a lot of questions. Never really to any end, but it just seems like a nice way to talk to a dog. How's it going, Blue? What do you think of this place? Seems like they're really on the rocks out here. And then, of course, we give the dog a treat. Look at how handsome she looks in her hat. Here's some jerky from the gas station attendant. Yeah. You can't just, like, take a thing for a dog from a guy when the dog can see you and then hold on to it, because dogs got no sense of, like, saving a thing for later. You know, he reminds me a bit of your old man Ira. You miss that guy? One of these times, the dog's going to respond. And when it happens, I'm going to be sorry I even asked a question. I guess let's get back to it. I don't think there's a reason to linger. No, it's time to go. We got a job to do and miles before we sleep, right? So, oh, they're gonna make me actually pick a... Well, shoot, I wish I'd paid more attention. Field notes. Head northeast on 65, turn left when you see the tree that's always on fire. How had I forgotten the tree? You know, the tree that's always on fire. So, do I just click somewhere along the road? Or, yeah, okay. Guess I'm looking for a tree that will reveal itself to me. Oh, that might be our man. A tall black oak burns on a hill above the road. Okay, well then we turn left. I'm actually kind of curious, though. Can I just drive around? Is it possible that we'll see stuff? The truck jerks toward the shoulder, nearly run off the road by a swarm of dragonflies. Their wings beat briefly in the headlights and disappear into the night. Wow, those are some aggressive dragonflies, or maybe just a lot larger than I'm used to. But I kind of want to just, like, drive around here and see if we can stumble into stuff. How much will it let me do this? Actually kind of lets you go wherever, huh? Oh, this is going to drive me a little bit crazy, the idea that we might be, like, missing things out here in the dark. I suppose that's just the nature of driving around, but it does make me a little uncomfortable. I wouldn't have such a problem with it in the real world. Yeah, alright, let's just go to the farmhouse. Here on Mammoth Cave Parkway. Street lamp lights the base of a dusty path leading up the hill. Which I guess is we're gonna walk, because I've left my car here. Pretty dark out here, huh? Or... No, I like asking the dog questions. I hope I can borrow you a treat up there. Nothing makes a dog happier than when you say that word. Alright, you just guard the truck, I guess. Or maybe Blue's gonna try to follow us up, but, like, not very effectively. Yeah, wow, I love the visual style of this game so far. It kind of seemed like Blue... Hold on a second. It seems like Blue's tracking our horizontal position pretty well, but not like... When I make the curve around the bend here... Oh, no, never mind. I think she was just going back to the truck. I'm kind of curious, though, if we can get her to actually follow us up the path. Not that I'm afraid of what I'm going to see up there or anything, but, you know, sometimes it's just good to have a dog around. But no, wait, no, don't go all the way down there. I'm just trying to make myself go further left here a little bit. This work? You come further up? Yeah, see, as soon as we get to her right, she turns around, but it looks like we can't get her to come up on the part of the road that actually turns. Alright, fair enough. Like I said, guard the truck. Somebody's got to. Some weird old guy might try to sneak a TV into it again. A family graveyard is set off to the side of the house. Headstones are inscribed with the surnames of the unfortunate. Novakowski, or Kovsky maybe, Adia, Marquez. We don't usually get to inspect things more than once, right? Oh no, nothing new there. I guess I got to look at that sign more than once. Not allowed to inspect the truck or anything. I'm assuming that's the TV I've got tucked under my arm there. It's certainly not much of one. I was just thinking what a lovely house we have. Do you like it? Have you been here before? Did you happen to see an owl? What? No, I didn't see any owls. I know. I saw it out the window once. Big ugly thing. All sound and fury. Well, it's gone now. You know, there used to be another house here, but we had it destroyed. And we built this one. It was very expensive. We got quite underwater. What do you do for work? Is it too difficult, or do you like it very much? I was once a mathematician. Are you looking for something in particular here? Lady, you got a real weird way of holding a conversation. I drive deliveries for a small antique shop. Here's a question. Is Conway the kind of guy that makes small talk? Because I sure didn't make any small talk with the gas station dude. You know, I'm looking for the Zero. Here's the thing. I got a thing to do. Oh, you're lost. And that old blind man sent you, is that right? Oh, of course he did. He's nice. Did he say anything nice about me? Did he send along a gift? Well, he said you were too smart to watch TV. Oh, that was a nice thing to say. But he's wrong. I'm not as smart as I used to be. Boy, I hear that. Well, actually, I suppose I am as smart as I used to be, but never any smarter. I don't learn anything new anymore. I write some figures, but nothing radical. I'll bet he sent that old TV along with you, didn't he? Of course he did. That was clever of him. Will you please set it up, and then I can explain to you how to get where you're going. The Zero. I know. Yeah, alright. Boy, Conway's kind of a big dude, huh? What are we seeing here? Well, that's not how it's supposed to look. You've made a mistake setting it up. Is it a foreign object to you? Which of your parents was it who wouldn't allow you to watch television? Well, Ma thought she heard ghosts in the static. Oh, I know about that. She was ill, wasn't she? Mentally, I mean. Kinda distant, fearful? No, things just had to be a certain way. Oh, you have it all backwards. I'm not surprised. Are you? And have you been paying attention? I don't think you have. It's time to start paying attention now, Conway. Look closely at the television. This is a weird experience. I don't think I'm doing a good job of looking closely at the television. I tried to look closely at it, but I missed. Hey, wake up. You spaced out for a minute there. Yeah, what do you keep out in that barn? It used to be tools and feed, then books. Now I think it's mostly spiders. That TV's picking up the wrong signal. My cousin Shannon would know more about it. She fixes TVs for a living. Well, I mean, she used to. I think the new models are giving her some trouble. Yeah, Now you know what? I'm kind of being drawn in here. Yeah, your cousin? That's my father's brother's daughter, Shannon. We're about the same age. Well, we used to be. She's older now. She has a workshop up north a ways by the lake, right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. It's a big bait and tackle shop. She fixes TVs in the back. Do you like fishing? Honestly, I'm not convinced you should bother with the Zero. I'd much rather you find my cousin and fix my TV. But I'll get you headed the right way. That's pretty easy. Just get back on 65 heading north, then take the first right after the artificial limb factory. From there, your arrival at the Zero is basically inevitable. Nice to know you, Conway. Keep your eyes open, especially in the dark. Yo, hold up, though. Up north a ways by the lake, Peonia and Wax Road. I feel like we ought to do this for her. she's weird, but she definitely knows things, and I feel like I would like her to like me because I would also like to know things. Weird that I didn't have the option of asking her about the thing on the front of the barn, though. I mean, I guess that's not the weirdest thing that's happening here. So, I should pick the TV back up, right? If I can do that? I cannot. I cannot, in fact, do that. A disused wood-burning stove is set up in one ash-dusted corner of the room. It's cold to the touch. Can I get downstairs here? An abandoned spiderweb stretches across the bottom of a saucepan. A skillet is seasoned with dust. Well, that's economical. No, I cannot, in fact, get downstairs. At least not from here. I might be able to walk into the garage from outside now that I know... Wait, there was a car here, wasn't there? Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem like... Huh. Alright, well, I guess let's go back to the truck? Maybe I shouldn't look, but I'm just kind of curious if anything's changed with the graveyard. No, looks the same. Maybe we could just go get her cousin and have her come back with us? Or maybe there's nothing I could do about this TV at all. But I feel like she told us where her cousin was for a reason, yeah? Huh. Blue, I just met the strangest lady. I mean, she seemed pretty nice, just weird, you know? I do genuinely hope we see her again. Again, it seems like she knows things, and I would also like to know things. It's possible this just ain't going to be that kind of game, though. The kind of game where you get to know what's going on. You know, Conway does sometimes get distracted. I'm just kind of curious if we can, like, have him notice that this is happening? Seems like maybe not. Alright, well, I guess back on the road then. You know, they're right. Some people do say John was a Baptist. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, right where, up north a ways by the lake. Peonia and Wax Road. Okay. So, what's the lake look like on this map? Is this... Any of this stuff could be a lake, frankly. I don't know how to read a big black and white projection map, frankly. I guess we could just... A young man in gray-stained clothes sits by the side of the road. He's playing a worn guitar. To his left is a blue mug, and to his right a weathered dog. Don't just touch people's dogs. I mean, I bet if I click pet the dog, it'll say Conway asks. But I'm just gonna sit here and listen for a second. Conway stands and listens. The young man strums absently on the guitar, hums tunelessly, and occasionally mumbles a word. Now keep listening, hold on now. The young man whistles hoarsely, stops playing the guitar, then looks up at Conway. He rambles for a few minutes about the weather, the dog, and his music, then returns to playing. As he walks back to his truck, Conway finds that he can hardly remember a word the young man spoke. It's an interesting way. By never telling us, the player, exactly what was said, you can create that same effect. It's interesting. So maybe we're not up north enough? Looking for... Oh, hey, Wax Road. That's a good start. But hold on, there's a bait shop. Conway pulls into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign reads Live Bait. Minnows small and also large for stripers. Night crawlers, chips and beer. A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at eye level. To the shop's right, a dirt parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass and then eventually trees. The bait shop is open. Definitely start by reading the flyer. Computer-printed type in a bold font surrounds a clip art illustration of a TV set. TV has eyes, arms, and legs. Its shoulders are slouched. On the screen is a cartoon expression of exhausted nausea. A hot water bottle rests against its wire antenna. TV repair. No model too old. Inquire within. We do not sell digital converter boxes. Oh, guess we found the place. Narrow aisles crowded with lures, reels, rods, and snacks divide the shop lengthwise from the entrance to the cashier's counter. The left wall is lined with churning tanks of water. Churning tanks of what? The 3 metal tanks aren't labeled, and the water's too agitated to get a clear view of what's inside each one. The contents of the first tank are vaguely gray. The second is a muddy pink. The third is clear, but shiny silver flecks occasionally flash along its surface. Well, I mean, don't just reach into the tanks, right? So here's a real video game thing. I certainly would not attempt to reach into the tanks in real life, but because they've put the word, the sentence reach into the tank in front of me, now I'm thinking about it. But I shouldn't, right? You can't just reach into somebody's tank and take their fish. And that's the best case scenario here. I'm gonna not stick my hand in a random fish tank. Maybe we'll be able to figure out what's in them somehow. Let's approach the counter. A wiry cashier stands behind the register, preoccupied with a Sudoku puzzle. I'm looking for Shannon Marquez. A handwritten sign on the door behind the counter reads, TV repairs by appointment. Please consult with cashier. Okay, hey, look at that. We're on our way. The cashier knocks a few times on the door and waits, occasionally glancing at his puzzle. After a few moments with no answer, he notices a smaller note written on the sign, reads it, and then points it out to Conway. Okay, well, what does it say? Weaver, I got your message, have left for the old mine. Don't know if I will see you there or what. Ready either way. Huh. Well, that's very curious. Ask about the basketball game. Wait a minute. Do we have an option? I don't know why I scrolled up. Like, I know we can't see our options. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Could totally be the case that I just didn't bother like reading the word carefully enough. I thought this said ask about the baseball game the first time we had the... I don't know. Let's go ahead and ask. The cashier switches on the radio. An AM sports broadcast is playing, but Conway can't be sure if it's meant to answer or just to drown out his questions. Yeah, fair enough. I can see you're very busy with that puzzle. I'm gonna resist all my video game urges here and not just reach my arm into the tanks. The old mine. Well, that's very curious. Did we get any kind of instructions there? No, there were no directions on where the mine is. I really appreciate them giving me a notebook, because this is exactly the kind of stuff I'm super good at forgetting. Oh, I managed to click outside the window somehow. Alright. Well, if we just drive up to the ends of the roads, you know, a mine is the sort of place some roads might end. Maybe we ought to just go back and ask Weaver, although who knows if Weaver will even be there to ask. He certainly seemed to have disappeared. I don't feel like we ought to just get on the zero here. There's something going on, right? Like, we should explore this. Best we can. Then again, I am absolutely just driving around arbitrarily. An on-ramp, probably to the zero. Right, because this is right past the factory, like she said. That is what she said, right? Just go past the factory, don't do anything. Take the first right after the artificial limb factory. Yeah, I feel like we get on the zero right now, we're going to be missing something that feels important to me. Trying really hard to just click look at on the factory. Oh, apparently I have to be on 65 to do that. A creek runs alongside the highway and then turns toward a dirty brick building. A grinding drone from within the building is faintly audible from the interstate. Floodlights on the lawn illuminate smokestacks. At the edge of the building's parking lot, a large sign, partly obscured by trees, reads, Amber something artificial limb factory. Huh. Well, you know, I guess they gotta get artificial limbs from somewhere. I never really thought about it in any detail before. Is there enough need for artificial limbs? You need a whole factory, though? I guess what's the other option? They're all handcrafted by gnomes? Oh, hold on. This one goes somewhere. Oh, never mind. That was the first dead-end branch we'd been allowed to go down. I figured I'd discovered something meaningful. Well, it's possible that I'm not cut out for finding the old mine by myself. Hold on now, what's this? The exterior of the Barren River Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation is a dingy beige, sprinkled with fading graffiti. The front door hangs open from a broken hinge. The windows are dark. Well, we're definitely going inside, but let's look in first. Conway looks in a window. Windows are too dirty to see anything inside but a few dim shapes. Furniture, maybe, or livestock. Well, I guess let's go find out. The room feels empty with no furniture other than the built-in front desk, host to a disconnected telephone and a few empty beer cans. Meandering lines of color have been spray-painted along the walls. Behind the desk, a hallway leads into darkness. I mean, the telephone's disconnected. Why would I pick it up? We're just going to go into the hallway. The hallway passes several smaller office doors. It quickly disappears into darkness. Something is glowing in the distance. Barely. That's very disconcerting, but we're going to go find out. We're going to discover real quick here if this is the kind of game where you can get killed by something in the dark. The door at the far end of the hallway is tightly closed, but a warm glow bleeds in from its edges. Well, let's see what that is. Conway opens the door at the end of the hallway. The handle is loose, and the door swings open easily. The hallway fills with warmth, light, and the smells of smoke and coffee. About a dozen men and women sit around a campfire in the middle of a large room. That's not where you're supposed to do that. Cubicle walls have been cut into pieces, some leaning up against the walls, some arranged into stacks of firewood. One of the women waves to Conway and offers him an empty chair. It's missing wheels, but it's comfortable and easily adjustable to his height. Someone takes a pot hung above the fire and pours coffee into a styrofoam cup. Conway accepts it, and they all return to watching the fire. And then that ends. Hold on, I have questions about that narrative. Did I just eventually get tired of watching the fire and get up and get back in the truck? Or... again, maybe this is the kind of game where you don't necessarily get to know things. It's very strange and affecting so far, though. The diner doesn't appear to have a name. A vinyl banner slung above the door simply reads 24 hours. It only has one window, behind which the blinds are tightly closed. Well, I mean, it says 24 hours. The door swings open easily. A bell rings nearby. The interior of the diner is pitch black. I'm just gonna stand here in the doorway a second until I can see. A bit of errant light from the nearby highway creeps through the open door, and gradually Conway's able to make out a few figures inside. Two old men in trucker hats sit in a corner booth with a checkers board set on the table between them. A young woman standing behind the counter in an apron must be a waitress. The cook stares blankly from the kitchen. The door slams shut and the room is dark again. I feel like if I try to open the door and leave, they're all going to sense the panic, and then they're going to have to chase me because it's their way. We're just going to sit down at the counter like everything's perfectly fine. Because everything is perfectly fine, right? Conway walks in the direction of the counter. He hits his knee on something hard and metallic, winces quietly, and then carefully finds his way to a stool. He places his hand on the counter. Another hand, a young woman, rests itself on his. She guides his fingers to a laminated menu. Conway closes his eyes, opens them, maybe closes them again. Impossible to differentiate. I believe we are supposed to keep our eyes open. I sort of want to ask her about the basketball game, but I would be a fool not to order some waffles first. Waffles are a safe bet even at some darkened hole in the wall, that's true. Conway squints hopelessly at the menu, searching in the dark for some legible text. He feels a warm hand against his cheek and freezes. Her fingers run across the stubble of his chin. He feels like apologizing. She leans forward, and so does he. Huh. Boy, this game has a real curious way of delivering narrative. I'll tell you what, I can already see why this was recommended to me. All those years ago. I'm having a real hard time clicking on the examine thing here. There we go. The office of the Buffalo Creek Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation is almost invisible from the road. Its parking lot overgrown with weeds and its facade sheltered by ivy. Yeah, this isn't where... Sinewy shadow obstructs the view through the window. It's an unsettling description for a shadow. I guess let's go inside? The floor is loosely covered in dirt. Parts of the carpet have rotted with exposure to rain. Wild mushrooms grow in some corners of the room. The wall behind the front desk has been mostly rotted away. It looks fragile. Well, this is something I might actually think to do in real life. I'm curious, let's just push on through. Conway finds himself in what may once have been a conference room. The floor has fallen away in places and filled with a dark green mire. The walls of the conference room are decayed and damaged. Well, I guess let's just keep Kool-Aid manning our way around here. The drywall dissolves as Conway pushes through it, falling in damp clumps in the marsh. He breaks through into a long hallway. The glow of a bioluminescent fungus casts a faint blush on the walls. Conway has the feeling he has interrupted something. After a moment of silence, the frog chorus resumes. Yeah, weird. I'm glad I decided to drive around a little bit. So at this point, we've almost gone everywhere we can go. So I guess if there's a mine to find, maybe it's on the zero? Either that or we're about to stumble upon it. Or maybe just some old abandoned church? Oh no, not abandoned. A singing chorus echoes from within the church. The building is 1 story tall with a pitched roof, and a 3-story spire rising from the front. The top section of the spire is made of stained glass. An interior light illuminates the pines in red, green, and blue. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Light of the Last Great Awakening Baptist Church. Ooh, boy, I don't want to upset anybody watching, but I have not had great experience with Baptists. Let's sit out here and listen for a while. Let's just try to gauge the menace in their voices. The muffled chorus drones at a steady volume, repeating the same 2 verses without rest. That sounds right. I guess let's have a look inside. Front doors of the church are modest and warned. They're also locked. Well, let's walk around and see if there's another way in. A ramp leads up from a few dusty metal trash cans to the church's back door. Well, let's just go through this church's trash. Why not? Again, just a thing I'm doing because it's on the menu. Conway opens a few of the trash cans and looks in. One has a bit of something leafy and rotten stuck to the bottom of it. Another is full of unlabeled videotapes. That's curious. Let's see if we can go in the back door. Conway pushes open the back door. He finds himself in a kitchen lit by a buzzing fluorescent ceiling fixture. On the counter are a plate of moldy bread and an empty Dixie cup flecked red around its waxy rim. A set of swinging plastic doors on the far wall lead out of the kitchen. Yeah, let's see where those go. Conway pushes open the plastic doors and walks through. Vacant pews sprawl unevenly into the church. A small raised stage lies to Conway's right, bare except for a tape recorder. The tape recorder's power cord runs to an outlet near Conway's feet. Huh. Should we unplug it? I kind of feel like I shouldn't. Somebody set it up like this for a reason, yeah? I'm gonna just leave it. I feel like we stumbled upon a thing here that we will never truly understand, which is a feeling I'm getting increasingly frequently as we head through the game. Let's just leave it as we found it, yeah? What a weird thing. It's a phrase that's probably going to get a little bit worn out as we continue on. Yeah, it looks to me like maybe we just aren't going to find the old mine. We are going to find this airplane, though. You need some help, or? Two shirtless, shoeless men push a light aircraft along the highway. Occasionally, one or the other slips a bit on the sweating asphalt, or stops to pull back his hair. The men are nearly broken. You guys, for real, do you need some help? The rubber on the wheels is almost worn away. Soon, these men will be dragging this airplane. Well, apparently I don't feel like I should interrupt them. I sort of want to wait and see. Like, are they just going to walk off the side of the screen and then there's going to be nothing here to do? Or is something going to happen, I wonder? I guess this is exactly the kind of logic that gets you to stand around and watch some guys push a plane without interrupting them. It occurs to me that sometimes video games are a real strange thing. I guess let's get back on the road? Conway stays put for a moment. Hold on. Do I have any other... It looks like I have no other interactables. Okay, I guess we're going. Conway does not, in fact, want to stay any longer. Although part of me is looking at that and going, the options on the prompt changed, now it's different, you should stay again. Probably not significant. This is part of the magic, though, of... Feels strange to say. Part of the magic of magical realism, right, is that everything ends up feeling sort of significant. Things seem as significant as they... I was about to say as they seemed, which is a weird way of putting it, but hopefully some of what I'm trying to say is coming through there. Well, it seems like we are not going to be able to do anything else on this side of Zero. So I suppose let's just find out what that is like. You know what? One more time. Let's go back to the farm and see if Weaver's there, because I am very curious. The burning tree going to say anything different? I'm kind of curious if she'll be there and if she'll be willing to answer some questions. I guess one question. I have one question. Oh. Maybe I should have tried the on-ramp. Might be we would have found we couldn't get on or something. Alright, Blue. You know the deal. You guard the truck. I'm going to go have a real strange conversation, just like always. You know, I'm kind of relieved to see that the place is still here. I don't know why it wouldn't be, just... Well, let's see if Weaver is also still here. She is not, in fact. Any change in the sink? Huh. Well, it can't be the case that just nothing's going to happen here, right? Why would it have given me a new seed card? I mean, I guess I don't know anything about the game's internal logic yet. I guess this is a real learning experience for us. Maybe it pops you a new scene card every time you go to a place that is significant. Like if we were to go back to Equus Oils, maybe it would give us another one too. Even though it's not necessarily the case that there's anything to do. This has been a real strange experience so far. And you know, at the risk of leaving everybody in suspense, I suspect I'd be leaving everybody in suspense no matter where we called it, because I think it's just going to keep being mysterious. So I think this is where we're going to call it for right now. My plan here with this series is to release a new hour of gameplay every weekday. So come back next time, around this time tomorrow, for that. And maybe some answers? Don't count on it. Probably a lot more questions. And we'll see you then.